What's up, everybody? You're very welcome along to our match reaction at Anfield agenda. Liverpool beat Atletico Madrid by 2-0 at Anfield to confirm our place at the top of the Champions League group. 4 wins from 4 for Kloppo's boys. Perfect evening, 10 million in prize money in the bank as well. You'll love to see it, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go through the game. We're going to talk about the major incidents. We're going to give you guys a chat to vote on your man of the match and, of course, all your player ratings as well. I'm going to give it a second for the chat to fill up. But while I do so, just want to say a massive shout out to our sponsors, manscaped.com. You guys know, get yourselves over to manscaped.com. Use our discount code WFM20 for 20% off and free shipping on any products on Manfield. It's going to call it Manfield Agenda. On manscaped.com, including the new 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner, the body wash, or the Performance Package 4.0. Right, ladies and gentlemen, loads to get through. I'm going to be asking you guys shortly for your man of the match. But first of all, I just want to take a second to say quite how fantastic we have been this season in the Champions League. 4 wins from 4 in a group. When we looked at it at the start, it was called the group of death. People were wondering if we'd get through the group and how difficult it was going to be. Doesn't get any better than 4 wins from 4. Perfect for Jurgen Klopp's boys. The fight is on for second place in the group as it currently sits. Porto occupy second place with 5 points, 1 ahead of Atletico Madrid, and those two, I believe, meet on the final match day. Or yes, the final match day, or is it the next round? The next round, yes, they're playing in the next round. I think.
Who's this?
Atletico and Porto.
We've Porto next.
We've Porto next. So the last game, it'll go right into the last game. I apologise. And look, the incidents in the game, loads of them to go through. I'll briefly cover them because I will be talking to Jack and Chris. We'll go through them in more detail. But for me, look, it was an outstanding start again from the Reds. 2-0 up in the blink of an eye and absolutely blew Diego Simeone's men away. They never really got a chance to get into the match. Trent with 2 wonderful assists as well. The first one, absolutely gorgeous ball into the corridor of uncertainty, which allowed Diogo Jota to get in. Headed in to put the Reds 1-0 up, and then Sadio Mane pops up after another Trent to make it 2-0. The big incident in the game, though, does revolve around the referee sending off of Felipe. We didn't know what it was for, quite frankly, at first, because the challenge looked like a rather straightforward professional foul, tripping a player on a counter-attack inside our own half, and we all thought, I think, fair to say, straightforward yellow card. But the referee seemed to get a little bit annoyed that Felipe wasn't turning around, but again, red card was brandished, but according to UEFA, the referee's red card was purely for the challenge and not for any petulant act by Felipe. And if that is the case, I have to say, 100% think that the red card was the wrong decision. If we're going purely off the challenge, that was a yellow card, no more for me, ladies and gentlemen. I think Atletico can rightly be annoyed by that one. They did have a goal ruled out as well, correctly, for offside, as did we. Carl, thank you very much, mate, for the super sticker. First one of the night, really appreciate it. And I'm going to quickly just talk about the 2 goals that were ruled out. Both correct, both very minimal decisions. And the real pity about Diogo Jota's one was the ball by Joel Matip. If you guys haven't seen the highlights, you're in for a treat. Joel Matip played a stunning ball into Diogo Jota, who side-footed the past the helpless Atletico goalkeeper Jan Oblak. But as is the case these days, you have to wait for the VAR check with every goal, and it was tight, but it was the right decision. Atletico again, Luis Suarez had a deflected shot that went in, but that was ruled out for offside as well. So Norsey said at the end of the game, Klopp ignoring Simeone. Good, because he's a shithouse. Proper order. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to swap over scenes now so we can go in and do the player ratings. Again, you guys get the chance to vote on each individual player, so I'm going to quickly change over. And Mr. Crosby, we will start off with Alisson Becker, the Liverpool goalkeeper. Ladies and gentlemen, have your say on Alisson Becker. He's got to have harder nights at Anfield, Alisson. Wasn't really called upon to do too much today. I don't know how to even give Alisson one, so I'm just going to wait and see what you guys go for, and I'll match whatever you give Alisson. There it is. You can vote now. Poll is there live. We'll keep it up for 30 seconds or so to give you guys a chance to vote. And I'll agree with whatever you guys go with for Alisson today, because it's a very difficult one to gauge. 7, 8 maybe. I'm not sure. But I think, let's wait and see what the live chat go with as well. Give that a second or two. And at the end of it, we'll be asking you guys to vote for your Anfield Agenda man of the match as well. So do stay with us. Any more comments you want to put in? And happy Diwali to all celebrating, said Tarish, and I echo that sentiment. Right, Connor, let's knock that one on the head and see what the Anfield Agenda audience have given Alisson Becker. Right, ladies and gents, let's see. What have we given Alisson? 67% of the Anfield Agenda audience have given Alisson Becker a score of 7 or 8 out of 10. We move on now to the next player. Why isn't it changing?
Click into it.
Which one is it? That?
Just click into the scenes hall.
There we go. Trent Alexander-Arnold. My apologies. Trent, the next one up. You guys going to have your say on Trent. Look, it better be high, is all I'm saying. 2 assists today and another outstanding performance from Trent Alexander-Arnold. Sometimes I forget how young Trent still is. If you look at other right backs around Europe, nobody's really doing what Trent is doing at his age. Carl said Klopp for man of the match, tactical genius. Yeah, he got it all right today. Team selection spot on. But look, on Trent Alexander-Arnold, he probably my man of the match, if I'm being honest with you. You guys can have your say on it. It's an absolute landslide. I don't want to, ruin the surprise for anybody, but I'm seeing the vote here, and you guys are right. You're absolutely spot on with what you're doing here. I'm going to give Trent a 9 out of 10 because I think he was imperious today. He was my man of the match. I never give anyone a 10, by the way, unless you beat United 5-0. By the way, I forgot to mention that 5-0, and it was all 10s all around that day. What day you say, Craig? It was the 5-0 day. Right, Connor, let's knock this one on the head because it's very clear what Trent's getting here. The Anfield Agenda audience have voted and given Trent Alexander-Arnold a score of 9 or 10 with 88%. You love to see it. We move on to this gentleman, Virgil van Dijk. Again, absolutely rock solid at the heart of the Liverpool defence with Joe Matip tonight. A clean sheet, and again, the lads will have harder night's work, but not their fault. Atletico with a man sent off. We absolutely dominated the game, and Virg slowly but surely is starting to get back to his imperious best. I'm going to give him a 7, purely because not he did anything wrong, but he didn't have all that much to do. So I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10 today, Virgil van Dijk. But I'll wait for you guys to have your say in the poll as well. Look, to me, I'll still stand over what I've said. I think Joe Matip has been our best defender so far this season. But it is perfect to have him in there alongside Virgil van Dijk to help Van Dijk take the time to get back up to full fitness. And there's been a lot of talk around Joe Gomez as well. Will he be unhappy? But to be quite honest with you, it might be a bit harsh, but he's got to get up to the standards that the rest of the lads are playing at and play at a consistent basis. Virgil van Dijk, you guys have agreed. You guys have given him a score of 7 or 8 out of 10 with 72% of you guys voting for that. Well, let's move on now to his centre-back partner, Joel Matip, and see what you guys vote for Joel. To me, I think, again, probably shaded it of the better of the two centre-backs, but they're not going to have, or they're going to have far tougher evenings or far tougher examinations that Atletico provided them tonight. The only critique I have of Joel today is he should have scored. He should have scored, ladies and gentlemen. There was a chance in the second half where the ball came in. Joel controlled it with his thigh, swung a left boot at it, should have scored. He'll know he should have scored as well. But for me, he gets an 8 out of 10. And the only reason he gets dock points is because we didn't have that much defending to do, really. What they did do, they did well. If that pass had stood for the goal, it would have been one of my favourite assists so far this season. The pass to Diogo Jota, ruled out for correct offside, but what a bit of vision. And that's what you get from Joel Matip at the heart of the Liverpool defence. You get obviously the height, you get the ability to carry the ball forward, you get the calmness alongside Van Dijk, but that range of passing that Joel Matip has is often forgotten about. So you guys have given Joel Matip, similar to Virgil van Dijk, 59% of the Anfield Agenda audience have given Joel Matip a score of 7 or 8 out of 10. Now look, Jurgen Klopp's big call today was probably around the left back position, and he chose to go for Costa Simicas and give Andy Robertson a rest. I think it was the right decision. I was saying it all week, and I think Costa Simicas justified that decision. I remember Connor commented to me at one point during the game how high up the pitch Costa Simicas was. He was definitely playing more as a left winger, and you seen Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain at the start of the game tucking in there to provide some support for Costas when he got forward. But his crossing is absolutely phenomenal, ladies and gentlemen. We should rate Klopp every match, Carl. We do, mate. We do rate Klopp at the end of them. Costa Simicas for me, again, I'm going to go 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 because attacking wise, he was brilliant. Some of his set piece deliveries were subpar, if I'm being honest. He didn't meet the first man with a corner or two, but he has an unbelievable range of crossing, doesn't he? And there's a lot to admire about the Greek Scouser because he loves to get forward. And I didn't think I'd ever say that there would be somebody to come in and battle Robbo for the left back position, but you know what? Costas is absolutely giving the gaffer something to think about. Right, moving a little bit further up the pitch now, we go and talk about our Brazilian octopus, the beautiful Fabinho. Came back into the side today, and look, let's be honest about it, looked like he was never away. He just gives an air of reassurance that if we commit bodies forward, he's going to be there to snuff out any attack. Went around the pitch, no, I'm going to say glided around the pitch like Fabinho does. Doesn't do anything wrong. Puts his foot in, wins the balls back, and to me, any midfield that has Fabinho in it is a better off midfield. I'm going to give Fabinho an 8 out of 10 today because, again, he will have tougher examinations, but I think he put in a very good shift. Little bit surprised that he got the 90, if I'm being honest. I thought maybe he would... he was changed, wasn't he? Sorry, he was changed. My apologies. He was changed for Thiago at one point. My apologies. Yeah, I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10 because, again, he's going to have a more difficult day than today. And I think Klopp was right to bring him off and bring on Thiago for a few minutes. Right, Fabinho has gotten 49% of the Anfield Agenda audience have given Fabinho a score of 7 or 8 out of 10. Moving a little bit further up the pitch now, our captain, Jordan Henderson. To me, one of the things I love most about Jordan Henderson is how much he gets in referees' ears. You could see straight away in the game when Sadio Mane was being fouled, he was talking to the referee constantly. And you'll also get bundles and bundles of energy. He looks at his most comfortable, doesn't he, on the right-hand side of the midfield when he's, he's interchanging with Trent, playing lovely little balls with Mohamed Salah, and again, tucking in to provide cover where needs be. Again, I can talk about this like blue in the face. Absolutely loving the fact that Jordan Henderson's the Liverpool captain. Very, very, very difficult gig coming in after CVG, but it just keeps progressing and keeps showing why he is the captain of the football club. I'm going to give Jordan Henderson a 7 out of 10 today. I think I'd like to have seen a little bit more from him going forward at times. And maybe I'm being too harsh here, but he had a great half volley in the second half that was straight at Jan Oblak, but the connection, again, really well. I've probably been a bit harsh here with Jordan Henderson, giving him a 7, but yeah, do you know what? I'm going to up it to a 7.5. I feel like an arsehole giving him a 7, so I'm going to give him a 7.5. You guys in the Anfield Agenda chat have given Jordan Henderson a vote of 7 or 8 out of 10 with 65%. This gentleman here, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, did he take his opportunity? That's the big question tonight. He picked up a little knock to the game as well. He did go off. He got back up, ran it off a little bit, but he did go off, and I wonder if Jurgen Klopp is going to have more of a headache now with midfield injuries. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, to me today, 7. I thought at times he was invisible in the first half in particular. Came into the game a little bit in the second half. Loved the strike from distance. I don't know if I'm being harsh here. I don't know if he was told to stay back a little bit and provide cover for Kostas Tsimikas, who was the further forward on that left-hand side, but I think 7 is probably a fair score for Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Not back to his brilliant swashbuckling self, but I think 7 is probably a fair score for me. You guys again, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain gets a score of 7 or 8, 61% of the Anfield Agenda audience voting for that one. Moving further up the pitch, Sadio Mane. You know what? I'm going to give Sadio an extra point because he had the living shit kicked out of him today and wasn't protected enough by the referee. I absolutely back Jurgen Klopp in his decision to take him off at half-time. Not because he did anything wrong, far from it. To protect him and make sure we had him available for the game of the weekend. Got himself a goal as well. A fantastic goal. For me, Sadio Mane, 8.5. 8.5 for Sadio. I thought he was a constant threat. Every time he picked up the ball, he was getting away from his marker and they were forced to trip him. How on earth, by the way, and I'm going to say this again, how do you get a yellow card for being fouled? Because that's what happened. He was fouled twice and somehow that referee saw fit to give him a yellow card. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. I'll go to my grave being baffled as to why he was given a yellow card. But yeah, 8.5 for me. I thought he was fantastic today, Sadio Mane. Look at that smile. Even just looking at the image, he's making me smile. Moving on, Mohamed Salah. Fair to say, probably a night of a little bit of frustration for Mohamed Salah. But you know what? He doesn't let his head drop. He's always a threat, always a willing runner down that right-hand channel. And one thing that I don't think gets spoken about enough with Mohamed Salah is his upper body strength. The man is a physical specimen. And probably not his best night from an attacking perspective. You know, didn't really get too many goal scoring opportunities. There was one time I think he was a little bit greedy, if I'm being honest. Broke in down the right hand side. I think it was Diogo Jota was available, top of the screen. Didn't go with them. Decided to have a little run himself, and it didn't work out when it went behind in the end for a goal kick, I think. But yeah, a little bit too greedy today in that occasion for Mo. I'm going to go 7. I'm going to go 7 for Mohamed Salah, because I think his own high standards that he sets, he can play better than that one. And look, 2 games without a goal. Is it a drought? Is this a Mo drought? Nah, of course it's not. He's going to score at the weekend, isn't he? Mohamed Salah, the Anfield Agenda audience have given him a score of 7 or 8 out of 10. 69%. Hello, Sailor. 69. Hello. This gentleman.
Salah, it was the first game since Burnley in August he didn't score or assist.
There you go. Just to reiterate what Connor said, that was Mohamed Salah's first game since Burnley in August that he hasn't either scored or assisted in the game. Diogo Jota probably should have had more than one today. You know, I think Diogo will say that himself. He missed an opportunity. He should have got himself a second goal. Again, very tidy finish for the goal that he scored and the one that was ruled out for offside. To me, actually, I think Diogo was probably the pick of our forwards today for me. I love watching Diogo Jota play football. He's very easy on the eye. He's very easy to like. He does a lot of the donkey work as well. 9. I'm going to give him a 9. I'm going to give him a 9 just behind Trent in my man of the match vote. I'm going to give Diogo Jota a 9 today. A little bit concerned, obviously, with the Bobby Firmino injury that maybe we're going to be reliant on himself, Minamino and Origi come Christmas time, but we'll wait and see what the story is with the injury. Hopefully it's not too serious. I'm going to give Diogo Jota a 9. You guys agree. 63% of the Anfield Agenda audience give Diogo Jota a score of 9 or 10. Right, 2 more to go. Bobby Firmino, ladies and gentlemen, what are you saying? Obviously came on and went off with a little niggle. Difficult to gauge Bobby Firmino. Came on a half-time to replace Sadio Mane and then went off halfway through the second half. Didn't really have too much impact on the game, in fairness. I'm going to give him 6.5. 6.5. My favourite player at the club, but I think, and I expect a little bit more from Bobby, and I think he didn't really impact the game. But then again, the second half kind of got away from us. It was very stop-start, a whole lot of substitutions, loads of niggly yellow cards and fouls as well. So I'm going to give him a 6.5. Did I say 6 or 6.5? 6.5. But let's see what the Anfield Agenda audience vote as well. And I think we've got one more after this before we go to the man of the match vote. Firmino. You guys go a little bit higher than me. 56% of the Anfield Agenda audience giving Bobby Firmino a score of 7 or 8 out of 10. And the last one of the player ratings that we're going to do, Thiago Alcantara. I thought that he was Samba fantastic when he came on. Everything that we expected him to do, we did. Got the ball, moved the ball. Got the ball, moved the ball. Road challenges, got back, cut out some half attempts for Atletico Madrid. Maybe I'm being biased here because I love him so much, but I'm going to give him a 7. I'm going to give him a 7. And it's always difficult to really gauge somebody when they come on for 20 minutes like that. Most important thing about tonight, though, is that he got minutes on the pitch. That is the most important thing. Ahead of a very, very tricky trip to West Ham at the weekend. It was great to see him get those minutes. And it was great for Jurgen Klopp to be able to substitute Fabinho to bring him on as well. Obviously, we've seen Hendo then drop into the 6. But I went for 7. I think I've probably been a little bit harsh. I think you guys might disagree with me. But we'll wait and see. And then we'll give Jurgen Klopp a vote. And then we'll do the man of the match before we go to the player panels. Right, Crosby, what we saying? 1 second. Thiago controlled the game, took the piss, 10 out of 10. I wouldn't give him a 10 out of 10, mate. I'm giving him a 7. It's hard to give anyone higher than that when they're on for 20 minutes. But I love that we're loving Thiago. I love it.
There we go.
Klopp's handshake snub, 10 out of 10. Right, ladies and gentlemen, Thiago Alcantara, the last of the player ratings. You guys, 63% of the Anfield Agenda audience have voted and given Thiago a score of 7 or 8. Now, the big one. We got man of the match next?
We'll Klopp first.
Klopp. Jurgen Klopp. What does the gaffer get today? Out shithousen Simeone? surely gets him a high score. Jurgen Klopp has guided us to top of the Champions League group. 4 wins from 4. If that doesn't get him a 9 or a 10, I don't know what will. In fact, he should get a 10. He should get a 10. 1, because of the snub of the handshake. 2, because he out shithoused the shithouse. And 3, most importantly, because he's guided us through to the Champions League knockout stages with 4 wins from 4 and time to switch around, time to rotate ahead of the last 2 games. So for me, Klopp will get a 10 out of 10, but I think you guys are going to agree with me in the chat, aren't you? What 4 are we going to go for the man of the match vote? Jota, Mane, Trent, Tsimikas?
Ask people in Jack's give us
Right, give us 4 names for the man of the match vote, ladies and gentlemen. Lash it into the chat there real quick. Where Klopp gets a 10 out of 10. Of course he does. 89% of you absolute legends have given Jurgen Klopp a 10 out of 10. Man of the match for Klopp, said Carl as well. Mane all the way, said Gamers. Mane, Trent, Hendo, Trent, Jota, Trent. I mean, it's going to be Trent. So
Trent, Mane, Tsimikas.
Right, Connor's going to put the man of the match vote live in the chat now, folks. And look, don't forget, don't go anywhere, by the way, because in 5 minutes, myself, Jack Gill and Chris Stonage are going to be talking through the game in more detail. Right, the Anfield Agenda man of the match vote is up there now for you guys to vote on. Who did you go for, Connor? Who were the 4 in it?
Jota, Trent, Mane, Tsimikas.
So it's Diogo Jota, Costa Tsimikas, Mane and Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Basically, it's Trent.
Yeah, I mean, it's just all kinds of anybody else and Trent, because Trent's going to get it, isn't he? Let's be honest. Trent surely was man of the match. I want to just take a second while you guys are voting to say a massive thank you to you all for the continued support you show us here on Anfield Agenda. It really does mean the world to us. We touched on 126,000 subscribers tonight. I can't thank you enough for that. If you haven't yet subscribed, while the vote's taking place, please do take a second, hit that subscribe button, drop a like on the video, and again, a massive shout out to our sponsors, manscaped.com. You can get 20% off and free shipping with our discount code WFM20 on anything at manscaped.com, and remember to get your Christmas orders in early. Right, let's see what Jurgen Klopp, or not Jurgen Klopp, let's see what Trent Alexander-Arnold, I got confused because Klopp was up on my screen there.
Let's see how much Trent won the man of the match for.
Yeah, let's see how much he won it by, as Connor is saying. Craig, in my opinion, without Fabinho and then Thiago, we would have so much difficulty. Although the red card to Felipe was decisive, the Brazilian and the Spaniard helped us a lot today. For me, Oxlade-Chamberlain was a rock. I thought Chamberlain was maybe it was a bit harsh. Maybe it was harsh. Anyway, man of the match vote was an absolute landslide. 72% of the Anfield Agenda audience have given the man of the match to Trent Alexander-Arnold, who of course got 2 assists today, and I absolutely agree. Connor, you agree on that one as well?
I think so, yeah. 2 assists is just brilliant. And he was class all game.
Yep, absolute quality. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be back in 4 minutes. Myself, Jack Gill and Chris Stonage. Really appreciate you guys jumping on here and giving your player ratings as well. I think it's fair to say great evening's work for the Reds. Another 3 points in the Champions League bank. 10 million in prize money as well. Myself, Chris Stonage, Jack Gill, going to be live in 3 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Thank you to you.